I'm gonna show you 3 different moods, and I want you to guess it right away and see if your mind can pick up what kind of emotions I'm trying to transmit with this chords progression. So here's the first one. Well, if you get sad, that was sad. I mean, that sounded like very sad. For the next one now, and I want you to guess it and see if you can pick it up. If you guess happy / hopeful, that was the key. I mean, I felt a lot of hope in those chords. But now I'm gonna give you the third one. So that one is a little bit more unexpected. So you don't know where the pastor is going, but like it's not sad, but it's not happy, and it's kind of like you don't know where he's going. So you can actually be a little bit more free when it comes to that kind of stuff. So these are 3 different moods, but for this video, we're gonna focus more on the first one, on the sad one, but also the transition from sad to happy with the song, The Blessing, towards the end. So let's say I'm in the 4, and I'm walking down, and I'm in the 2 now, so the pastor's like, why you just don't stand? You can go right away to the 1/3, then the 4, hang there, and then the 1. Hello guys, my name is Isaac, and welcome back to another video. This time we're gonna talk about playing under a pastor and the importance of it. Sometimes for keys players, sometimes you get through the motions, and when the pastor calls the band up, you go play and don't actually focus on the importance of playing under a pastor. Throughout my years as a keys player, I have understood that assignment and how important it is, especially as the pastor is wrapping up the message. Today, I want to focus in 2 main points. The first one is to first set up the emotions and the feel for what the pastor is saying. And the second main point is to also set up the next song that you're about to play. So playing under a pastor is just not to sit there and play whatever you want to play. You have to, first of all, be listening to the sermon, understanding what he's speaking, because that will be your approach, especially when you're gonna play under the pastor. A great example of this is like if the pastor is talking about grief and sadness and overcoming that, you won't play those are major chords, and those usually translate to very happy emotions. Instead, you will play something more minor-ish. So like something more minor chords. Something more that feels the emotion of what he's playing. So when you walk in there, what are the first things you do? Right now, we're using the Sunday Keys app on the iPad, and one of the first things that I do is to have a drum pad, and you can have that on the Sunday Keys app. It's already all set for you. You can find all different kinds of drum pads and velocities and everything for the drum pad that can complement what you're doing. The importance of having a drum pad, especially when you play it under a pastor, is that it frees you up. My approach when I playing under the pastor is that, okay, he's talking about X bullet point, or he's wrapping up his sermon, he's talking about X thing. I'm already listening to the sermon. So now my job is to complement him and not to overplay under him. So my first approach will be, okay, I'm sitting here, I already have my drum pad set up. So we're gonna turn that on. And now we have something that just floats there. And it's just perfect. And we can adjust the volume, maybe bring it a little bit higher. Boom. And now we are in the first snapshot. So my job is to say, okay, he's talking about grief. Usually my first approach is like, I have to start not playing very much, not moving very much, have a pad there and just flow there for a little bit. And that's kind of like my entrance. Also, your front of house will appreciate that because it gives them a chance to put you in a good level, and as you play the keys with the snapshots, also, allows him to also set up a good level for you. Don't forget also that in the Sunday Keys app, if you have different outputs, you can set up your pads to be in a different output and your piano on a different output. Also, your front of house will appreciate that because you have different controls of your volume. Anyway, coming back to it, my first point will be, okay, sitting here, have my drum pad ready. Okay, now I'm gonna start just laying some chords and trying to figure it out, a progression that is not too busy, but also, again, that fits perfectly with what the pastor is saying. So I'll start playing a 6 in the key of B. So I'll play a 6 minor. Nothing too crazy, maybe to the 4. This is giving me, when I'm sitting here, now I'm thinking, I don't have to be too busy. My job is not to be too busy. It's just to set up the palette for it. But the drum pad and the chords just, and it gives me a chance to probably think. So now I'm like, let me change it. Let me go to a 2 minor. Maybe 1/3. Maybe a 4. Maybe I can go back to the 6, or again, I can go back to the 2, to the 1/3, and maybe to the 4. So now I'll be sitting on the 4. Again, I can play this chord progression and just play the 6, the 5, the 4, the 2, the 3. It's different every time. I just want to set up a point. So now that I have done that, now I can introduce the piano. I can say, okay, he's wrapping up the sermon depending on time, but I want to be able to, boom, now I'm going to go to snapshot number 2. I'm going to bring some piano in, but I'm not going to be too busy either. I'm just gonna do the same thing. Nothing too busy. I can repeat, go back to the 6, maybe doing some octaves, maybe not. Maybe 1/3. Again, I'm not trying to be too busy. I'm trying to complement what he's saying. Maybe we go to the 2, to the 1, 5/7. Maybe we repeat that, and maybe we walk it up now to the 2, 1/3. Maybe we add some texture stuff in the higher. Again, my job is to not be too busy with what the pastor's saying, not trying to, play just. Now, it's different an approach. If the pastor is talking about very happy stuff, then you will play more happy chord progressions or maybe move a little bit more. All depends on what the pastor. Also, it's also great to talk to your pastor and say, hey, do you like what I did for Spirit Keys? And if he says, yeah, I loved it, then you don't change anything. But maybe he will say, hey, can you be less busy? Or actually, let's talk about this. Also talking about, hey, pastor, what are you preaching about today? All this kind of approach, all those little details will make you a better player when it comes to playing under the passer. But now let's go to point number 2. It's that you are talking about the emotions, about the passer, all that is great. But also you have a song to play. So like, how can you set up the next song that you're also playing? So I'm gonna bring the Tony Pack back up. I'm gonna be in the same snapshot. And let's say now, I'm playing all the different progressions that we have talked about. The 6, the 5, the 4. But let's say the next song is The Blessing. So we're in the key of B. So at some point, as he's transitioning and wrapping up his sermon, I can start giving a hint of what the song is. And that's something that I do a lot. I usually don't play right away the melody or whatever, but I probably will start playing. Don't find a tempo. Just play very... And for me, not finding a tempo, don't locking in a tempo yet, it's very key when it comes to that, because people will start hearing the melody. They're like, oh, they're gonna sing The Blessing? Oh, that doesn't sound like The Blessing, but like, it's so close to it. And again, I can bring my piano a little bit louder. Finding a tempo. And maybe I can start on the verse, or probably I can start in the chorus as the pastor's wrapping up. You guys can see, no finding and locking in on the tempo. And then probably do. Again, I'm not heaving a hand. Then. And as he's wrapping up, I usually do 1/3 to go to the 4. And then I can just, boom, launch the tracks if you have tracks, and then go, and now you can then But now, it's very important to understand that you also have to be ready when your pastor is wrapping up. Guess what? You don't know where he's going to end up. But what is your job? Your job is to always, it doesn't matter where you are in the keys, to always have a plan to close up and be ready for the next song. So something to practice is something to think about. It's that it doesn't matter where you are in the keys. You can be in the 1, you can be in the 3, you can be in the 2, you can be wherever you are. But I will give you 2 tips of advice to find yourself ready to wrap up the keys. So the first one will be to go from wherever you are to the 1/3 to the 4 to the 1. And then the second one will be from the 6 to the 5 to the 1. And I will prove it doesn't matter where you are in the chords. You can always go there to be able to wrap and be ready to go to the next song. So let's say we are in the key of B, and I'm playing under the pastor. I'm just playing, I'm playing to the 5, 1. And again, you are not locking in a tempo, and that's the importance of not locking in the tempo, because it doesn't matter where you are, then you can go to these chords. So let's say I'm in the 4, and I'm walking down, and I'm in the 2 now. So the pastor's like, why you just don't stand? You can go right away to the 1/3, then the 4, hang there, and then the 1. You can launch the tracks and then go right into the blessing. So that's example number 1. Now we'll go to example number 2, is go to the 6-5-1. And again, doesn't matter where you are, as long as you are not locked in on a tempo, you can go to this chord. So let's say I'm playing, I'm in the 1, I'm just floating under the pastor, kind of like give you the hint of the next song, and I'm 1/3, and I'm in the 4, but now he's like, stand. I can go to the 6, to the 5, and the 1. Launch the next song. Because also people, you have to understand that when the pastor's wrapping up, you have the worship leaders are walking in, so you can take your time with a few extra seconds. And with these chords and these advices, you can wrap up, be great, be smooth. The worship leaders are walking down the center, you are wrapping up. It gives you time to also launch, and then it just sets the song very smooth. So we will have more videos about playing under the pastors. We have plenty of those. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. See you guys next time.